What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You'll return to subscribe as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support, guys. Yesterday I reported on a story, a horrific story out there in Staten Island. I mean, not Staten Island, Coney Island, New York. Shout out both places. You know what it is. All good with New York and me. And in which a woman was sleeping on a subway train, and she was set on fire at the last stop by this dude right here. Now, they're saying they don't have an ID or a name for this guy right now. Actually, guys, they do. And I seen it last night when I was just scrolling and looking up this story because I was so intrigued by it, and I didn't write it down. I'm sorry. I could have gave it to you guys before. It'd come out later on today. But anyway, this piece of crap, I almost cussed early in the YouTube video. This guy, come to find out, is an illegal migrant from Guatemala that re-entered the country back in 2018 after they threw his ass out the first time. Now they're saying this guy's a homeless guy, and he was in shelters, you know, in New York. I'll tell you something. What this man did to this woman, you know, and you guys have seen it already, it still had me thinking about it last night. What a horrific way to kill somebody, by setting them on fire and then getting out the subway car and then watching them burn. It's unbelievable evil out here, guys. And it seems like lawmakers and stuff don't care nothing about it. People have been getting assaulted on the subway, whether it's by homeless people or just random acts of violence. Not only in the subway, just across the country. Enough is enough. For real, man. Nobody would pick that way of dying. And to have that happen to a woman that was sleeping and minding her business after this guy set her on fire with a lighter and some type of accelerant. Because listen, they said this woman, and I want you to hear me, was burned so badly she could only be identified by her teeth, and I guess later on they'll say it. So I don't know if you've ever seen a burning body or a dead body after it's put out, and you can't even identify it, and it's a silhouette of a person in ash, and the white of their teeth show. That's horrific for anybody to see. And what's even worse is somebody did that and sat their stupid ass down and watched it. Watched the aftermath. Take a look at this.
It was just before 7:30 this morning when our person of interest and the victim were both riding an F train to the end of the line at Stillwell Avenue in Brooklyn. As the train pulled into the station, the suspect calmly walked up to the victim, who was in a seated position at the end of a subway car. The suspect used what we believe to be a lighter to ignite the victim's clothing, which became fully engulfed in a matter of seconds. Officers who were on patrol on an upper level of that station smelled and saw smoke and went to investigate. What they saw was a person standing inside the train car, fully engulfed in flames. With the help of an MTA employee and a fire extinguisher, the flames were put out. Unfortunately, it was too late, and the victim was pronounced on the scene. Unbeknownst to the officers who responded, the suspect had stayed on the scene and was seated on a bench on the platform just outside the train car. And the body-worn cameras on the responding officers produced a very clear, detailed look at the killer. After the NYPD disseminated those images, 3 high school-age New Yorkers called 911 to say that they recognized the suspect. Other transit officers responded to that 911 call and also spotted the man wearing the same gray hoodie, distinct wool hat, paint-splattered pants, and tan boots, already on another moving train. Police radioed ahead to have the train stopped. Then, Transit District 2 officers boarded the stopped train and walked from car to car until they located and arrested the person of interest without further incident. The person of interest also was found with a lighter in his pocket.
Oh, Craig, this is disturbing indeed. Charges are still pending for this suspect in this case, and police say 3 high school-aged New Yorkers called police after seeing that suspect at the York Street station. The NYPD later stopping that train at Herald Square and captured that suspect aboard another F train car. The police commissioner says that suspect did have a lighter in his pocket. This gruesome story starting Sunday at the Coney Island Stillwell Avenue station around 7:30. Police say a man used a lighter to set a woman on fire inside an F train subway car as that train pulled into the station. Then authorities say he left the car to sit on a subway platform bench nearby, watching that woman as she burned to death. The MTA saying the crime was caught on surveillance camera, and police say body-worn camera video from responding officers also captured the man's face you see there. His image was splashed across social media. Those 3 teens quickly recognizing him at another train stop and calling police, leading to his capture at the Herald Square station.
Our officers in District 2 stopped that train at Herald Square and was able to keep the doors closed, walk the train, and place this very dangerous individual in custody. This is amazing work done by the public and the police working together.
There must be strong, swift consequences on this person, and I use that term lightly, who committed this brutal, brutal homicide. There is no room in civilized society for people like him to be walking around.
And there are still a number of unknowns this morning. Who was that woman who was burned to death? And did she know the suspect? Those details and what led to this attack are not yet clear at this time. Police have not yet named the victim or the suspect, but the police say he came to the U.S. from Guatemala in 2018. There is a video of this on social media. If you have seen it, we are not showing it, of course, but it is chilling to watch this person in the subway car burning to death.
And let's hope that they take that video down, because that is something that we don't need to see. All right.
And I don't care what you say, America has turned into a safe haven for demons, ghouls, goblins, and pit fiends. There's your proof right there. Under no circumstances, a crime so devastatingly heinous, this motherfucker's still breathing right now. They walking him through the subway. He looked hard in that fucking picture, but he got his head down in the other picture. You sat there and set a woman on fire. We don't know if you knew her or not, and watched her burn in agony like she was in her judgment day being sent to the hellfire. What the fuck is wrong with you? Don't know if he got mental problems or not, but evidently he need to go. And that's the part that's crazy. These people are doing some of the wildest stuff, and the only thing he's facing is life in prison. You know why? Because crimes with the public, regardless of somebody's homeless or not, it's not worth taxpayer dollars to sentence somebody to death. Hell, a bullet don't cost nothing but what, $3 or $4? Stake him, shoot him, take a blowtorch, use some acetylene, run it up his ass until he's crispy like one of those Cuban barbecue pigs. Shout out Cuba. Seriously, this shit is stupid. The punishment need to fit the crime. Yet these lawmakers don't say nothing. They sit up there and write their laws with all those stupid ass shits they do or whatever, with their fucking suits on, happy as fuck, because they in a position where normal people are getting fucked up in the street. And all you want to do is put up different guidelines and give them a fair trial when the person gave a victim an unfair punishment that didn't deserve it. You talk about fairness in this country and justice for all. When's the last time in any of my stories where somebody died viciously, did they get justice or their surviving family members get justice? Like I said yesterday, we don't know who that woman was going home to see or where she was going, if she even had a home or whatever. But one thing's for sure, her heart was beating for a reason, and it wasn't up for this fucktard to stop it in the way that he did. When is enough enough? Another story, another migrant snuck back in the country. Sitting up in the shelter. Who pays for the shelter? Taxpayers. Y'all are lucky I don't run this country. I would walk right up there in Capitol Hill if I was the president, where the lawmakers is at. I don't give a damn what house they in. I'd walk up in there and I'd have a gang of people with me, Secret Service or whatever. And I'd walk up in there. Oh, all rise. Hey, Mr. President, all of y'all, get the fuck out. And I'd have a goon squad over there with Timberland boots on, and I'd wheel my foot in all their asses as they went out the fucking door. You're fired and don't come back. You say something, you're gone. This is absolutely disgraceful. Disgraceful. It is. This shit don't affect them until it affects them. But it doesn't affect them because they have the money to move their ass away from this bullshit and look down and point the finger and say, oh, that's a shame. And we're doing everything we can because we can't see behind a veil of bullshit that they saying when they in them stupid ass meetings. Why would you bring a bunch of people over here that after you just opened the floodgate and didn't have nowhere to put them, they send them to all these fucking sanctuary cities and overloading them? Now, they didn't cut all the migrant shelters out in New York and all this other stuff. They started to shut these shelters down, Chicago, all these other places. Now you got a bunch of people that are bitter because they ain't experienced American dreams, so on and so forth, and shit like this keep happening. I got a headache. I got a headache for real, man. This shit be making my blood pressure go up. I didn't even have high blood pressure. But do y'all guys understand what I'm saying? There's evil, and then there's like uber evil, like ultra evil. This right here is one of the worst ways to die. And I mean, come on, man. Come on. And the thing that's crazy is somebody videotaped it. I mean, I showed the video yesterday and YouTube jumped on my ass, which I knew they was going to do, but they ain't going to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? They just demonetize the shit. But I mean, I don't do this for the money like that. I want you guys to see what's out there. We need change. We need change from the lawmakers. Because you got to remember, people always say we need police reform and all this other stuff. They work within the guidelines of the law for the most part. Change the law, you change the police behavior. You change the police behavior and what they're supposed to do, and you change the law and you change the punishments. People will think twice before doing stupid shit like this. It's no way he made it to the fucking police station with a bag lunch, sitting in a cell right now, worrying about his fate that he don't give a fuck about, because evidently living freely in the streets in America wasn't enough. People go through things every day in this country. It don't give them the right to make their problems somebody else's problems or take their problems out on somebody else. You cannot tell me a lighter just set this woman on fire. What was she made out of, leaves? What was she just dried up? What was she, firewood? He had to throw an accelerant on her. Then they caught him. He was on the train again. People seen him and ID'd him later on in the day on the train again. Like nothing never happened. I don't know this woman, but my heart goes out to her and her family, especially her. Nobody deserves that, guys, for real. And like, this is why I do the stuff on this channel. I show y'all some of the craziest stuff out here because it always has us scratching our head. Why? We don't even need to wonder about why no more, because evil is out here and it's doing what it does. While justice sits around and bullshits. Real justice. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Peace to the fallen.